works.
Yeah.
All right, Abram. So in theory, we're live.
We're live. Let's do it.
How you doing?
I'm great, Clave. And you?
Well, I just got back from playing pickleball.
Oh,
So
nice.
I'm very sweaty, but I have my lemonade.
You've got your
And
spring shine on. That's what
yep,
you
since
got.
I'm so sweaty, I recommend 1080p for everyone. So you'll really want to see me glisten in this video. I think I'm going to enhance it. But
Enhance.
pickleball is worth it, buddy. Anytime you get a place in pickleball, you don't pass that up.
Oh, yeah. I love pickleball.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so this is the punch list.
Punch list.
All right, for folks who don't know, who are watching for the first time, so every week on nerdsonearth.com, we list the 7 biggest pieces of news for nerds. So this might be from board gaming, from comic books. Gosh, I hope it'd be from comic books. They need to come back. It could be from D&D. It can be from the stuff nerds love. So the 7 pieces of big news, we try to keep it punchy. It's just the punch list. Boom, 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 7. And then in the afternoon, we talk about it because we're nerds. We can't
keep our mouths shut.
We can. It's nerds are absurd, and we're a part of that fine tradition.
Let's do it.
So you ready?
I'm ready.
Here they are. I'm going to read straight down so you'll know, so everyone knows that we're telling the truth. These were published this morning on nerdsonearth.com. Number 7, Gen Con 2020 is canceled. But wait, because we're going to do number 7 and number 6 together, because number 6 is Essen Spiel 2020 is also canceled. So, Abram, thoughts?
Well, those are kind of the last 2 big dominoes to fall for conventions. Right. So obviously tons of people broken up about it. I mean, you got 70,000 plus who are going to go to Gen Con. Spiel, I think, is over 200,000 people now. It's unfathomable how huge that thing has gotten.
So for context, if you're not familiar, that is the nerdest board gaming convention in Europe. And Europe loves board games more than anyone loves board games. And so Essen is a big deal. Gen Con, of course, is the biggest board gaming convention. It was started by Gary Gygax himself, so it's the oldest. And I think you said it's 70,000 people.
Yeah, so the interesting thing, so Gen Con straight up canceled hotels. I got an email this morning already that the hotel cancellation's gone through.
Break your heart.
So, they are going to have a Gen Con line of some kind, so an online presence. Hopefully probably get some vendors together and, I don't know, run some panels or something. So Gen Con's doing that. Essen Spiel is not doing any digital because they've just postponed it to October, which, in my opinion, I get the inkling, my Peter tingles, tingling, that they might be just postponing it in an effort to maybe get some technology resources together. Because, I mean, the size of it, it's 3 times bigger than Gen Con. I don't know how you expect to get, in a matter of months or weeks, how you can kind of get something all rolled up and put a bow on it.
Yep, we're expecting a lot of mediocre online type conventions.
Mediocre online.
This isn't the situation that anybody wanted to be in, and I just had sweat drop down into my eye from pickleball, or was that a tear? Right. This is a sad thing. I mean, I have fond memories of Gen Con, and you do as well. And there goes our press pass, right?
Yeah, Nerds on Earth will not be present at Gen Con 2020.
Well,
but
and
we can still get the merch. Let's get a Gen Con 2020 T-shirt. It's like the NFL losers T-shirts.
Yeah. Well, and it is tough. Anyone who's ever been has gone to the convention hall. All those impulse purchases, the new games discovered, just that excitement, that enthusiasm.
Oh yeah.
And an online experience. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but I'll skip it. Whatever. I'll maybe look for some press releases and I'll try to keep up. But there's something about going to Gen Con, and I'm sure you've experienced this as well. It is like a nitrous boost into your veins that just reinvigorates you and just re-excites you for the hobby. And so
Totally.
like I wonder about, like you just lose that enthusiasm. And so kudos to trying to make the best of it, but it won't be the same.
I mean, what if they do a Zoom call? They're like, all right, we'll get at least 5,000 people in the Zoom call. And then they say, this is the opening of Gen Con. They roll some dice on the video. And then for 10 seconds, they unmute everybody.
Yeah.
That's the only way they will capture that same excitement. But you're right. It's hey, we'll look forward to 2021.
Yeah. Yeah. They're doing the right thing. I think, but as of this going live, there's 98,000 people who have died from COVID-19, and that's just the United States. So worldwide, it's over 300,000 people, which obviously is, I mean, that's 5 Gen Cons. And so they're doing the right thing. And, con crud is a real thing as it is. We don't need COVID crud
exactly
on top of that. So anyway, sad news, but probably the right decision.
Yeah.
So number 5 on the punch list, more board game news.
Yes.
So this is a little bit more positive. The 2020 Spiel des Jahres nominees have been announced. So for context there's a lot of board gaming awards. Dice Tower Awards are big, Board Game Geek Awards. But these are certainly top tier, if not the top board gaming awards. So
yeah, Spiel des Jahres it's like the creme de la creme. I mean, if you can stamp that thing on your box, you are.
Yep. And so there's 2. There's, as you mentioned it, the Spiel des Jahres, and that's with a focus on just kind of entry-level family weight. And then the Kinderspiel, which is a little more advanced.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Kinderspiel, which is kids games. And so first, the Spiel des Jahres, focus on family entry-level, is My City, Nova Luna, and Pictures. So are you familiar with any of those games? I'm not.
I've heard of Pictures before this announcement.
Okay.
So My City is a Tetranimo, your little Tetris pieces, sort of a legacy city builder. It looked kind of interesting. The box got the little Tetris pieces coming in with like the city like built on them in the sky. It's kind of cool.
Cool. Yeah.
Nova Luna is Uwe Rosenberg, which is always, you're always going to be in for something great.
Great, yeah.
Just look at the images for Nova Luna when you get a chance, because it looks,
I don't have time. I got a pickleball game coming up.
Yeah, that's true. Well, in between pickleball, I'll send you a text.
I'll see what I can do. Yeah.
And then Pictures is, I don't know, man. It's, from what it looked like, you are making images, trying to copy a picture, but you're using objects. So there's like sticks and rocks and string, and you're trying to copy one of these images that's on the table. I don't know. I'm not necessarily sold on that. If I'm literally buying a box of rocks, we'll see how that pans out.
It's the new pet rocks of the board game.
Yeah.
But anyway, it truly is remarkable to get nominated for this. It's upper echelon. So the nominations for the Kinderspiel, which is expert game of the year, so a little more advanced, a little more strategic. Cartographers, a role player tale, The Crew, and The King's Dilemma. So I know The Crew. I own The Crew.
Ooh,
so I can speak a little bit to Ed. And super interesting. This is for the expert game. The Crew is a small trick-taking game.
Yeah, it's just cards, right? The Quest for Planet Nine.
It's just cards. It's published by Cosmos. It's maybe $20, $15. And so you have just trick-taking. Everyone gets the cards. We're going to take a trick, right? Here's what's interesting about it. So there's 50 missions. So the crew, you're a space crew, whatever. Really, you're playing cards. But let's pretend you're a space crew. So mission 1 might be player number 1 has to take the trick that has the number 7 card. Got it? That's okay. The mission number 2, player number 2 has to take the trick with the number 9 card. Mission 3, player number 1 has to take the number 7 card and the number 2 card. So
do they progress, get harder as you go?
You got it. And so you can play the same mission over and over, and you're just taking tricks, and it goes real fast, and you're like, 3 minutes in, we just about got it. And then you deal out the cards again, and you try it. So it's such a simple game, but it's pretty complex once you start to get into that. So that's
it made the list.
crew.
So
yeah, it's deservingly so.
Yeah, and the only one I am familiar with, I haven't played, is King's Dilemma.
Okay.
Same designers as, I don't know if you've heard of Railroad Inc. Challenge. It's a roll and write. But I think they must have had the only reason I know it is I think on Board Game Geek they probably had a contest or something. So I brought it to my attention. And it's sort of like this political intrigue in medieval times with like everyone vying for like, political gain and stuff. But it looked very interesting. It seemed pretty dense, just at first glance, but
yeah,
probably rules are meant to be dense. So maybe it's
right.
maybe it's a little lighter than it looks.
This is the Kinderspiel. So the Kinderspiel, which is kids games, hedgehog, roll, photo fish, Wir sind die Roboter.
Wir sind die Roboter. German.
There you go. That was much better than I did it, buddy. I don't know any of those, but those are the kids' games. So anyway, congratulations to all 9 of those games. It really is prestigious. This can make or break the game. So
even to be nominated is
right. It's great. A sales juice. You feel bad that. They'd sell 1,000 of them at Gen Con, right? 2,000. So it's anyway, the board gaming industry. So there's a lot of good stuff that won't be able to find an audience necessarily. So if you did have a con budget, pick up the crew. It's $20. You can buy it. Your local game shops opening back up.
Pick up a couple copies, throw them around town.
Yeah, it's kind of thing that's perfect for this because you can pick it up and learn to play it in 5 minutes and try to solve the puzzle. So number 4 on the punch list is again, speaking of Gen Con, this is from Pathfinder. Paizo announces 2nd edition beginner box. And the reason I say that is Paizo, if you know Gen Con, they are one of the premier sponsors. Their booth is always that monstrous booth just right inside that first door.
Corner.
And I have just fond memories of they have a press room, that plywood box where you go in and you do the interviews and learn about the products. Just fond memories there of kind of being behind the scenes. And so they won't be able to have a big hoopla around that, but we don't want folks to miss it because 2nd edition beginner box is a good deal. I'm excited about this announcement.
Yeah, and you look at D&D obviously has their 5e starter set, and even though it's $40, that's the cost of one core rule book. So you don't get the complete rule book, but honestly, who needs the entire 300 whatever page?
Yeah, but tell folks what they get. All
right. You get four pre-gen characters.
Not 3, not 5.
4, exactly. Perfect for a table. You get 1 complete set of polyhedral dice that you can share.
Those are the funny ones with 20 sides, Abram, in case you didn't know.
Thank you. 1 introductory adventure. Who knows what that's about? You get a sort of abbreviated player handbook. So I think I read it was just under 100 pages, maybe.
Yeah, 80 pages or
80
something.
pages. And you also get a GM, Game Master handbook, abbreviated.
Yeah, the master.
But this might be the real kicker. Over 100 character and monster pawns.
Yeah, it's really fun. The little cardboard pawns. And so if you're learning the game, and you know this, that I run my nephews through D&D and my daughter. And gosh, if I would say, hey, we're playing Theater of the Mind, they would literally just scream in my face, like, what are you doing? They want
minis. They want those.
They want minis. They want to chuck dice. They want to, push stuff across the table and touch it and throw it. And so to get those character pawns, that's a nice way to just really show off what the game can do.
Yeah, and if you've seen any of the art for the latest bestiary, and man, I love the pawns. Love the pawns.
Yeah. So anyway, that's the 2nd edition beginner box for Pathfinder. So number 3 on the punch list, it's entirely unrelated. We promise we won't talk about Gen Con again.
Yeah, maybe once.
until we do. So Star Trek, a new spinoff series is on the way. So this is called Star Trek: Strange New Worlds, and it will follow Captain Pike, Spock, and Number One, who portrayed them on Star Trek Discovery. So obviously Discovery and Picard was on CBS. So there's going to be a new spinoff series on the way. Do you watch Star Trek?
I do not. So
I don't either. So we are going to not be talking about this intelligently.
we'll be making broad generalizations with very broad strokes.
Yeah.
I mean, Picard, I think, was pretty successful. If it wasn't, they probably wouldn't be, going in this direction.
Yeah. So we covered it on Nerds on Earth. Jaws, one of our colleagues, he did a recap and review of every episode, and he's like, it was excellent. And I didn't have that CBS streaming service, so I didn't check in on it, but it's gotten a ton of buzz. People enjoy it, and so they're growing it. They're spinning off more, and so this is kind of the heyday of when back in the DS9 and when they had they would roll out some shows. I feel like Star Trek's kind of back.
Yeah, Star Trek, I think it's having a new renaissance.
So
sci-fi, science, fantasy, it's all booming right now.
Yeah. All right, number 2 on the punch list. Video game spending hit an all-time high in quarter 1 of 2020.
I wonder
why. So nerds are shut in and they're spending money on video games.
With digital offerings, it's so easy to just pick up a new game.
Yeah.
It's literally, you could just go on the thing and boom, Animal Crossing, got it.
Animal Crossing is, you hear everyone just talking about how they're playing that.
Me and my wife.
And so I'm not a huge part of this. I have picked up the Strike Force because some of you, the rest of the nerds, were like, we play Strike. And that's, I'm a dad.
But we're in Q2 now. You're not even in these numbers. I'm a statistic.
Totally. But, I'm a dad. I'm busy. I got to work so I don't play a ton of, I like the good 20-minute kind of time waster in between Zoom meetings, right?
You don't got time for sprawling RPGs anymore.
I ain't got no time for that. So I did a little bit of Strike Force. So I'm a part of this because I did spend $19.99 on some in-app purchases to get my beloved X-Men. But otherwise, I haven't done a lot. But when we shared, as we curate the punch list, we share this news, and other nerds in our Discord, we're like, yeah, I've spent a ton of money on video games.
Oh, yeah. Everyone's I've been in the same boat.
Yeah. So there you go. It's an all-time high. So number 1 on the punch list, and this is a little weird, so hang with us. We're going to have to talk about this for a little bit.
Yes.
Popular board game channel Watch It Played adds talent. So I'll give you a little bit of context. Watch It Played is a YouTube channel where Rodney Smith is the host, and he teaches how to play board games. And so it's tutorials. And so they have added some recurring shows, like a top 10 rising games. And they added Chaz Marler, Paula Deming, who are fun, likable personalities. They have a following of their own. And so they have come onto the Watch It Played channel. Now, here's why this is a big deal. Watch It Played, A, it's super popular. And B, in my house, my kids, my wife, if we're learning a new game, literally every single time, the first question, has Rodney made a video?
And the answer is probably yes.
Right. And that honestly dictates our purchasing patterns and if we get that game to the table. Because if Rodney's made a video, we're playing it.
You'll be able to figure it out because the way he presents it.
And I'm sure it's the same with you. I'm sure you've watched many of Watch It Play tutorial. And it's excellent. Other huge channels like Geek and Sundry have tried to. Watch It Played is far and away superior to any of that. But here's the thing. So nerds would log on, they would watch your tutorial, and they would just kind of peace out. Right?
Peace out. I'm gone.
Right. And if there's another game that looks, has Rodney made a video? By adding these weekly segments with some really good talent, this is like smash that subscribe button.
Yeah.
It really fleshes out the channel and turns it away from an occasional watch if you need a tutorial to, it's like, hey, I'm going to keep up with this channel, and I can say really plugged into the board gaming world.
And that's the setup. That's what Rodney always says. But no, you're right, because I think my first Watch It Played I watched was when he did Scythe. So we're getting ready to play Scythe, and it's like a half-hour video. But it outlines everything so perfectly. But you're right. I go there. It's like you go there looking for a specific thing. You can't just go there and start just watching all the Watch It Played, because like A, you're not going to have any context really, and B,
right,
you will literally forget it the second you go to the next one. So I think bringing in all this talent, Paul Deming, the sketch comedy she does is very unique. It's very funny, good stuff. And then Chaz Marler too. I think he might be a long lost relative of Rodney Smith. They look kind of identical. They're almost like practically the same person, I'm convinced.
And just a goofy, silly sense of humor, which is great.
So, I mean, combining them all together under the same umbrella, it's a win-win. It's a triple win. It's a win-win-win.
It's a triple win. Yeah, so that's it. I mean, that's so it seems like an odd thing. Like, well, why are you guys talking about? It's news that YouTube channels adding new shows. But it's big in the board gaming world. So that's it. So that's the punch list. Number 7.
Yeah, let's run it down again.
Number 7 and number 6, Gen Con canceled. Essen canceled. Number 5, Spiel des Jahres nominees announced. Number 4, Pathfinder 2nd Edition Beginner Box announced. Number 3, Star Trek, a new spin-off series on the way. Number 2, video game spending hit an all-time high in Q1 of 2020. And number 1, Watch It Played. The popular channel is poised to get even more popular.
That's a punch list. The hard-hitting nerd news that you need to know.
Well, we'll be back next Wednesday.
Yep.
Unless I got a pickleball game.
Yeah, I don't know.
Tell folks how they can find Nerds on Earth.
Well, you go up in your search bar, nerdsonearth.com. And obviously you can find us. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook. We're around. We're all over the place. And you know what? We'll get a camera and we'll put a mic on Clave so he can do this while he pickleballs next week.
I love it. It'll be so good. It'll be so good. You guys are gonna see my skills. And so if you have news, if you have anything, just email Abram.
Yeah, I'll compile.
He loves busy work, like reading emails,
like reading emails, sifting through emails, replying to emails.
It's his great joy in life.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, Abram. Thanks a lot. I'll see you again next Wednesday, buddy.
Sounds good, Clave. Take care.
All right. You too.